Third chakra is known by the name Manipura chakra. Manipura chakra means city of gem, precious stones. Our city of gem is translated. Manipura chakra. Mani means diamonds or gems. City of gem. There is a point in our, there is a psychological system or a point in our psyche that we feel there is something very precious which we hold, and it adds beauty to us, that we cannot cross that. We try to stay there. Because there is some pressure, like the wealth. You have some wealth, nobody wants to throw away your wealth. And we have really struggled quite a lot to accumulate the wealth, and then as you have struggled your whole life to accumulate that precious things, you are not really ready to give away these things. Or even if you give away, you give on the basis of conditional surrender. You surrender, but that is not surrender. You cannot, if you surrender, you surrender. You cannot conditionally surrender things. This is an area in our psyche where we get stuck. It's a very difficult area to cross. And that point in the psyche is called the Manipura chakra. It is associated with the navel center. It is called the navel center, Manipura chakra. All the chakras are located on the spine. They feel the sensations on the spine. But there is a field of the chakra where the chakra is operating. And in the field there is a nucleus point, very sensitive point. That is the nucleus of the field of the chakra. So there is a chakra point, and there is a field of the chakra, and there is a trigger point or nucleus point. Or chakras. And so in Western world now they are saying front chakra, back chakra, down chakra, up chakra, so many things. It's all coming from the pranic healing system and Reiki. Actually, the ideas are all coming from the old Indian tradition. I am not boasting about the Indian nationalism, but it came from India. Anyway, this part of the world has contributed this thinking to the world. But unfortunately, what happened, I took it as a mission for myself, as a mission in the Western world when I go there, to really lot of misunderstandings are spread around the Kundalini system all over the world. Urubod misunderstanding. And whenever I get a possibility to address a group of people or to really expose this, I really take the opportunity to expose the crux of this matter. I take it as my simple mission of life when it comes to Kundalini. Because there is a lot of distortions happen in the Kundalini Yoga by different masters. They have some ideas, and with that idea they really changed something that in effect it became a distorted science. Then you have to validate it. If that is right, whether it is working or not. And for that you need to practice the things which are proposed by them also. Whether it is wrong or right, you need to practice and test the validity of it. If it is working for you, of course you can propose it for some people and then check it. If it is not working for you also, it is their followers are experiencing something, you can talk and get information from them and try to validate it. And that is very important. We should be open to all. In the Kundalini yogic system, in this particular chakra, we are holding a lot of precious things in our mind. And we are not ready to surrender these precious things. That's why this chakra is called the city of Bija. We get into a place where we feel very great, and we are wealthy and rich, and we are not ready to get over that place. And so it is a blocking area in the Kundalini Yoga system. That's why usually masters, they say that reaching until Manipura chakra is okay, is possible, but crossing beyond Manipura is a difficult task because of the precious nature of the chakra. The precious things which we are trying to hold in the base, in the Manipura chakra, is our concepts, our beliefs, our ideas, and our knowledge. because we have really struggled to get into some kind of knowledge. It's not easy to understand things. So we have been really working on things to understand. So we have three things which is done by our mind, which is one is perception, the second one is cognition, and then conceptualization. These are the three major activities of the mind: perception, cognition, and conceptualization. So we perceive things involving all the sensory system. We gather information. And when you gather the information, you are gathering from a particular point on this world. You are sitting there, I am sitting here. You are looking at me, I am looking at you. We are not seeing the same thing. Based on your placement, you understand the world. And that may be different from the understanding of the person which is not sitting in your place. Maybe on a later moment, another person can come and sit in your position and view the world. Unfortunately, the world has changed by the time. The world which you see in the morning and the world which you see in the evening are not the same, it's different. In the same way, the world which appears before you during the highlight time of the day is different. The feeling is different. So, based on our placement, we understand the world in our own unique way. In understanding, what we do is, the information, as soon as the information gets into your mind, what you do is, you try to recall information which are there already in the mind alongside with all the knowledge and concept which you created and stored in the memory pack. This is what we do. As soon as you see, somebody has said that this is a Nila Tamara. They ask me, is it the blue lotus? Nila Tamara, the precious material, Himalaya. As it is blue in color, they have not seen before the original one, and Nil Kamal and Orensa. I have not seen the Nil Kamal before, and so I heard that person talking to Anton, this is Nil Kamal, because it's a spiritual place, and certainly it must be Nil Kamal. That is how you derive things, based on the previous information. I heard about Nila Tamara before, Nila Kamal, and so it is Nila blue in color, and so it must be that. So you derive a conclusion without getting further information to really explore further to get into a conclusive information. So most of the time, all the conclusions which we do in the name of, in the way of knowledge, is not conclusive. There is no finality in that. It goes on changing. But in daily operation, it is not working in this way. When you understand something, for you, it is like that. We somehow wanted to hold that information as a right information and a great knowledge. Because you have spent your lifetime, a little part of your life, to understand this. You really say, are you talking to me? I have been going to Himalayas and saw a lot of Nil Kamal, and now you are saying this is Nil Kamal. Whether it is Nil Kamal or brown Kamal doesn't matter. If you are going to quarrel on Nil Kamal. Then spirituality doesn't care. They are fighting on the basis of establishing our spiritual concept. This is what all religions are doing. Inside religion, certain sects are doing, and also masters are doing among themselves. They go on arguing and quarreling in the name of spirituality, based on the concepts, beliefs and ideas which are dumped or created and dumped in your third chakra. That's why it's considered very precious. We feel that it's so precious. Somebody challenges your idea, then you get very nervous. What are you doing with me? I have been doing this for so long time. On the 5th year of my life, I started practicing. You're talking to me? It has nothing to do with the knowledge. You can amass any kind of bullshit in your mind and keep it in store, and you put it out to the world. Doesn't mean that you are such a great master or anything. You understand, this is how it works in our psyche. We get some information, we compare with the already existing information and you evaluate it, and then you comprehend it and you create your knowledge. And that is okay. When you create your knowledge, what you do is you wanted to apply and see whether it works in everybody's life. And when you feel that it works in everybody, you become great. Because it's your invention works in everybody. This is how you become really super normal. So we have a lot of ideas and concepts like this, we created this. We don't know what it is actually. But we give some value to it, and so we don't want to surrender it. Somebody comes with another idea and challenges you. And you get very shaky. Why should you get shaky if you know it fully? You know it is like that. You know this is like this. Then why are you getting shaky? Then you understand that you are shaky because you don't know. You are not really confirmed for yourself. If you have confirmed it for yourself fully 100%, you don't need to be shaky. Oh, you don't know what to do. I'm not going to quarrel with you. You will not understand. But the thing is not like that. Somebody says something and you argue with the person, and if the person is really arguing back with you, you raise the voice and slowly your adrenaline pump out into your bloodstream, and then finally you will be in the threshold of a stress. Then you have to kill the other one. Or you have to escape. This is the choice. Then the next time when you see the Swami, you run away. Because Swami will kill you. So you don't want to see the Swami at all. So this is how it is working. And so concepts, beliefs and ideas have a bigger role in our life. We are really being taken away by these things as we are holding on it. And it governs our life as money governs our life. So we keep it there in the storehouse and we follow it. Thereby, we miss a big possibility of remaining calm in our life. Very precious, but you are not calm. If you are not calm, what will happen is you will kill yourself slowly. Every time, some people are like that. A person who is in Manipura Chakra is a fighter. He is an intellectual fighter. You can see Swamis, when you trigger the Swamis and then the serpent comes out. Up till that time, it's so peaceful. And then later at the night, he may be repenting on what he has done and exposing himself as not a settled person. This is how it works. And with normal people, that much difficulty may not be there because they don't have so much of a great image that they don't need to suffer quite a lot. If a rowdy is there in the street, he can fight with anybody. But if a Swami fights, then it is a big issue. American president is expected to have a moral quality. And nobody in this world has that kind of a moral quality which people are expecting or the press is expecting from it. So that is the problem. When you are really growing in your program and when you are somewhere, you understood a lot of things, concepts and beliefs and ideas, and you hold this and you declare yourself as the person who knows all these things, and you are being challenged by somebody, that it will be a challenge to your own life. You feel it like this. It's not a small thing at that stage. It challenges your life because you identified with that and you understood somehow mistakenly that you are that concepts or beliefs or ideas. That's why we get challenged. Otherwise, we don't need to be challenged. He says something, I say something. You don't understand me, I don't understand. Fine, thank you. At least I understood that you don't understand me. I don't need to be a sufferer for that. But it works in this way. So we have a lot of things in the Manipura Chakra which are the concepts, beliefs and ideas, and our hold on the concepts, beliefs and ideas. This, a spiritual person has to be looked intensely. Then we break the point. Then our life becomes really better. We are fighting on this continuously. If you understand some little thing, after this meeting you go there and you say, or you happen to meet Buddha on the way, and Buddha says, desire is the cause of misery. Great idea. And okay, you imbibe that idea and you go to the street and you say, somebody says that, oh, I have been looking for that, but I am suffering like anything now because nothing is happening in my life, but I want it to happen. So you have a concept Desire, see, desire is the cause of misery. So you get a chance to teach the other one so that you become a teacher to the other one. So you are not a normal person, you are a teacher. Now you are in a high pedestal. We go on using these things. But we don't know what it is. We are desiring continuously and then trying to teach the other person that desire is the cause of misery. There are a lot of false concepts we hold on, which is not substantiated by our own life. Jesus. There are great masters we can quote on. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is a great concept. Whenever you get a chance, you can say that love. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Whenever you get some garbage, you look both the sides, put on the neighbor's property. You love him like anything. Where it's a manure, it can be converted into manure for his house. So this is what we do. But it's not there in so we have a lot of concepts which has no substantiating life support. And there are certain concepts on which you have substantiating support from your life. So first of all, when you are studying there, we are looking which are the concepts which are really creating trouble in my life. And that will be revealed by interactions in the society. Every time when you are challenged by somebody, you get to know the corresponding concept that is popping up from within. Somebody says something, you get really into a conflict. As soon as you get into a conflict, that's the moment you see the corresponding concept which you are trying to hold on. You understand how we are looking, how we are working to get out of the trouble. Otherwise, you fight with the person, you don't understand anything, you continuously fight with everybody. Because people go on projecting their concepts and ideas on you, and everybody wants to teach the other one. And it doesn't go with your understanding, so you become a fighter. That's the nature of the Manipura Chakra person. In Manipura Chakra, there is an animal, as you have seen, a vehicle of the chakra. In the first chakra, it was an elephant. In the second chakra, it was crocodile. And the third chakra, it is a ram, Chamariyad. But when two Chamariyas, two rams are meeting each other and they just come up on their back leg, raise the front leg and go on hitting with their head. Knocking, boom, 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 like that, they hit. This is the nature of the Manipura Chakra person. He wanted to break open everything, hit with the head, break open everything, create concepts, ideas, beliefs. And he is a fighter to protect his beliefs, concepts and ideas like a ram. That's why the ram is there. And if we are into that kind of a mood, there is no peace. Constantly, physiologically, the stress hormones will be pumped. And that will have a lot of side effects. Pressure, all kinds of troubles. And so these are the main area where the Manipura Chakra is working. Then, how to get out of that? When a concept is popping up, when somebody is presenting something before you, something is coming up from within, which you are trying to hold on. And you have to look at what is popping up. Usually we don't look, we immediately, instantaneously respond. And that will end up in a fight. Then after the fight, you feel very depressed or very low because I should not have fought with the person. I made a really bad situation. So I should not do it again. But you have been practicing it for a long period of time in your life that you can not stop it by simply deciding to stop it. Next time you do the same thing. You listen, you hold on, listen, and then finally you jump into the discussion. And mainly in spirituality, this is a big trouble actually. You understand something out of your experience and you try to generalize it and you feel that this is a common experience for everybody and you wanted to teach and somebody challenges you. When somebody challenges you, it is like a threat to your life and then you wanted to finish him off or another. under this chakra, we have the two major hormones which is producing organs, which is one is at the suprarenal gland and the other is pancreas. Both comes under the field of this Manipura chakra. So it's a very vital area. There's a lot of fire in that. The attitude of the person is like a ram who goes on fighting for protecting his understanding, protecting his intellectual abilities, for protecting his concepts, beliefs and ideas. And that's the main work. Generally looking, when you are looking in the format of the chakra, you see there are 10 petals around the chakra. In the first chakra there are 4 petals, in the second chakra there are 6 petals, and when you come to Manipura chakra there are 10 petals. And the sounds are dum, thum, num, tum, thum, dum, thum, num, pum, pum. These are the, I'm just quickly saying because I want to just give a general idea about everything of this chakra, this class, and next time we can do details of it. So, these are the petular sounds. So there are 10 petals. Dum, thum, num, tum, thum, dum, thum, num, pum, pum. 10 petals with 10 alphabets for triggering the chakra. Then we have the Bija mantra, which is Ram. Ram. Ram is the, how do you do the sound Ram? Your tip of the tongue make a small spark in the corrugated front part of your palate, upper palate. See, there is a small corrugation there, and there you make a small movement with your tongue. Ram, 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 ram. And this part is considered as the seat of fire in your mouth, in the yogic system. Or each and every element has a position in your mouth. So you go on triggering that, and correspondingly something will happen in the brain that needs to be studied. And when you do the sound Ram, what happens? Your tongue becomes like a diagonal in your mouth. See, mouth is like this, it becomes like a diagonal. Ram. So the diagonal creates a triangle. And that triangle is the base of this chakra, a downward pointing triangle. So inside the petal there is a circle, and the circle shows the wheel, the nature of the chakra, indicating that the chakra is talking about some energy. And inside that there is a downward pointing triangle. It is downward pointing triangle as the nature of the fight which is there, which pushes a person down to the ground. Not an ascending energy. You fight, you become depressed. And look towards the lower chakra. So there is a triangle which is there indicating the nature. Nature of the energy which is flowing downward. It is not for upward flow. Upward flow in the sense that a relief. More earthly, more ground. You want to ground yourself all the time in the fight. Then when the Ram is the Bija mantra. Then there are 2 deities, and there is a masculine deity and there is a feminine deity. And Shakini is the name of the feminine deity, and what is his name? Vrutharudra is the masculine deity. I will show the pictures. After finishing this, I will show all the 3 chakras, picture of the chakras. So this Vrutharudra is an old Rudra, old Shiva. Shivan is in old form. Shivan indicates consciousness, and the female deities indicate the power of awareness. Shakti means the Shakti of awareness. As you are growing in your awareness, you are getting into more and more inner stability and strength, which is indicated by the feminine deities. Whereas the consciousness, which is the higher understanding, or maybe the ultimate knowledge, which is represented by Shiva. It is a detached Shiva. He is seated on a tiger skin. Seated on a tiger skin indicates that you are dispassionate, or you got control over your passion. passion of the second chakra. The second chakra passion is sex and attachment with family and creativity and all. The person, when he ascends to the third chakra, he is not anymore concerned with sex or passion and other things, but he is concerned about the concepts, beliefs and ideas. He is dispassionate. He is not like the second chakra person. He is not really concerned about the sex and other things. He is intellectual. He is continuously looking to explore and understand. That is the nature of the third chakra person. So Vrtharudra is the masculine deity in this. He has a trident and a drum in his hand. When you get into this kind of challenge, the drum starts to beat. That is actually the circadian rhythm. And also the biological rhythm. The biological rhythm gets distorted when you get into stress. And it starts to really make the sound. Uduk, Shivanda Uduk, that is the change of the heartbeat, which is indicated by the play of the drum, which he keeps. That needs to be listened. Sometimes the drum, the droning of the drum will be so big that you cannot even take it. And one has to listen whether you can take it or not. By listening to your heart, you understand that whether it is takeable or not. If it is not, you have to do something about it. Disconnect yourself from the concept and calm down yourself. Otherwise, you will kill yourself. And then the trident represents Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara, that it resounds to you. Anyway, you are a fighter now for securing your concept, beliefs and ideas. Remember, you came here. You are here for some time. You will go back. Then why are you finishing it? Advancing your death by playing this game of holding a concept. So it is resounded by the trident, Trishula. Then on the other deity, the feminine deity, she has 4 hands and 3 heads. In the first chakra we have seen 1 head. As you proceeded to the second chakra, the added faculties of security, sense of security that came to you is added as one of the head of the second chakra deity with the head of that particular chakra. So there are by 2 heads. And when it comes to the third chakra, all the 2 basic chakras are added. The understanding and the confirmations that you have got, or the intellectual understanding about everything of the base, is there as the 2 heads. And then 1 head of the third chakra. Thereby 3 heads. The deity has 3 heads. We are adding our faculties, chakras, indicated by the added heads. Then you see the 4 hands. We are ending there. And then a cliff. What to do now? If you jump, you will die. If you stay, the dragon will catch you. And then suddenly your mind creates a rail route from this ditch to the other hill. And then suddenly there is a rail track. It's a wooden plank. You can run over that. You are trying to run through this path, the small rail which is created by your mind to escape. And then suddenly you cannot reach, and suddenly there is a platform where these inspectors are moving to check the rail. And there is a platform. You get on the platform, you're running so fast, the dragon cannot reach, you're escaping. You come to the other edge, and then there is a small, what you call lift. You can escape, you can go down. You enter into the lift, and your lift is going down, 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 down. I am going to reach the ground, and suddenly it is not reaching the ground, it is going up again. And then up what to do? And then you are going down, 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 reaching the ground and not stopping, coming back. What to do? And then you are palpitating, sweating, and you are really breathing, scattered breathing, and you are going to die now. If it continues for a little more time, you will die. And then you wake up. Maybe just before waking, Somebody comes and opens the door and he says that you were in prison and you are released now. Dreams are like this. And in the dream, you are the only character. The dreamer is the only character in the dream. So every ingredient of the dream is created with your imagination, taking small tools and support from your memory. So these are there. You have to get rid of all these things. We are sitting on top of a lot of troubles. So if suppose somebody says that you do Kundalini Yoga, those who have not done Kundalini Yoga, they scare you. The one who has to scare you is the one who has done it, because he knows it. Nobody who has done will scare you. And you go to psychologists in this trauma and they say that, oh, this is Kundalini syndrome, you should not do that. Because they have not studied, now they are studying. Carl Jung has a book on Kundalini Yoga. He has written a book on Kundalini Yoga. The concepts are not fully understood because of the cultural problems. And however you try to understand something belonging to a different culture, unless you have become part of that culture, you don't understand what is written or what is said. That problem is there. When you read the book, you see these problems. But he has also been looking into the psychology of Kundalini Yoga. Carl Jung's book is there, available in the market. And so, this kind of lot of things are created by the mind. Finally, you cannot do anything at the night, you cannot sleep alone. All the conflicts that you have done in your past pops up like nightmares and really push you out of your sleep. You have to get out of this. Whether it is small or big, it is there. So we have to somehow get out of these problems. Better earlier the better. You see, that should be the attitude of a spiritual practitioner. Better we have to take out everything as quickly as possible. Even if it is hard, I get there, find it out, take them out. So that is why I say that you don't need to worry about anything, because nothing exists. It is part of some old stories. And this is part of the past which is not existing, but an impression of that is stored in a small microchip in your mind. That is all. So no need to worry about anything. We can positively approach this and we can practice on this, but we have to take sufficient caution. That's all. And so there are timings at which you can do the practice. There are timings at which you cannot do the practice. For example, I told you in the earlier classes that there is an elemental composition. For newcomers, maybe it is something little foreign. I cannot go into the details of it. Later, if you come another day, I will get time to discuss about it once again. So in every hour, but still I just mentioned, in every hour of breathing, there is 20 minutes earth element domination, there is 16 minutes water element domination, there is 12 minutes fire element, 8 minutes air, 4 minutes ether. When 20 minutes of earth element domination is there in your breath, your mind will be moving in the area of food security and shelter. When water element is on, that is the time you will be thinking about partnership, partners in life, or marriage, or maybe sex and all those kind of things. And you become very creative at that time. When the 12 minutes of fire element is dominant, that is the time this chakra is active. And when it is active, there is two possibilities. One is, anything which is stored in the storehouse of this chakra can pop up. And we have to learn to re-regulate its impact. And for that, we have the 3 openings on the 3 sides of the triangle, like a T-square. These are called bhuguras, which are opening and letting out the excess energy or the fire that comes out of conflict in your system. So there are practices to ventilate the heat, which is the conflict, and the heat which is panicking you, to ventilate out of your body. And the ventilations are done through these openings, like courtyards actually. You close the room and stay inside, you open the door and push it out. These are the 3 T's which are there. And for your knowledge, I can just, the practices we will do later only. After knowing all these things only we are going to start the practice. Small practices I will suggest always. And so the openings and the work organ, when you go into Sankhya philosophy, as we have taken the Sankhya philosophy on the first lectures, what I was saying, according to Sankhya, the Karmendriya which came out of fire element are legs. So that is why when you are scared or when you are stressed, you have a possibility to run away. The trigger is to run away. And you have another possibility also to fight. But running away is the best solution. And so, work organs are the legs, which is really put in motion when you are stressed. And these are the 2 T's which you see on the 2 sides. You can ventilate the excessive energy that is growing in your belly region, in the navel region, in this particular chakra, could be ventilated through your legs. And how to do it? Take a long deep breath. Feel that the breath comes to your navel. You are in panic. You are getting into slowly into panic. You don't need to do any practice. When the one who knows you are crying comes up and you see him long distance, the panic starts immediately. You are not doing any Kundalini practice. It is not the practice that is creating the problem. It is your past that is creating the problem. And so as soon as you see the person is coming and your best friend to whom you have projected a great image is there near you, and the other one who knows the secret is coming. It's a little tricky situation. So the heat is, immediately your belly is getting little fire. And then you don't know what to say and how to escape, and if you escape, it will be suspected that there is something which is not okay is going on. So there will be another problem followed by that. And so what to do? How to tackle this? You take a long deep breath to your belly and breathe out through your legs. As your awareness goes through the legs, the excessive heat which is generating in your body will be slowly migrating towards and enabling you to move a little bit, and then it stops. And then the other one, you can put that energy back to the heart, which is the seat of love and compassion. When you are in that crisis, you cannot experience love at all. So you need to trigger the higher center, the heart center, which is a balanced center. So breathe to the heart. Then within few seconds, you will be composed. So these are the ventilation techniques which are, there are a lot of, to the heart. Not to the head. It's dangerous to breathe to the head at that time because panic grows into the head. The panic, whatever panic, panics in which you get into has incredible effect, physiological effects, because you start to feel that your ear is getting warm. Is slowly a little trembling is coming in the body. You are really trying to run, but you cannot run at this position. Ears are really warming up now. Heat is growing in the belly region. Slowly, and you feel like evacuating a little bit, and then all things are happening. And then the heat migrates to the control center of your breathing system, the pons and medulla oblongata and that area. And slowly the heat comes to the medulla region. And the heat grows there, real heat grows there. And then when it grows in the medulla, you find it difficult to breathe properly. And as you cannot give sufficient supply of oxygen, you get into panic. This is how the panic comes in normal life situation. You don't need to do any Kundalini practice for getting into some kind of panic. It comes always. And in Kundalini Yoga, what we are doing, try to understand this and get out of the panic and avoid the panic. So whenever you get into this kind of troubles, you can ventilate it towards the heart and also towards the legs. And you will see the remarkable effect of it. And next time when you get into some kind of image issues like this, you just breathe and see how you control this. And it goes completely. And then when you, the thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is one of the weapons which he is keeping, which is what happens because the heart also starts to beat terrible. Dum, 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 like that. The drum of the Rudra, Purta Rudra. And at that time you need to remember, anyway, I came here, I am here, I cannot run away, I will go back one day, and so I have to relax now. Then the weapon, the passion is under control, the thunderbolt is active, observe the thunderbolt and the fire which is growing in your system and surrender. Surrender to yourself. Try to disconnect with the memories by observation. When you do this, you are blessed. You can get over the chakra. This is shown by the symbology. So this is actually a great way of presenting a big science. So if you go into the pictures, and most of the books you go there and they are talking about all the pictures and deities, and then people go on sitting, and Lord Shiva sitting in the cremation, he is sitting in the cremation yard. He hates to go into the cremation yard. This is one of the scary places for human beings, because we are scared of death, and so alone it's very difficult to go. At the night in olden times, the old cremation ground here in Taikad was really a horrifying place. Smell spreading all over the day and night. And then when you come back after second show alone, when you come there and you don't know how to cross this, you have to go to the second show. New theatre, you go to new theatre, see the second show, and you are not anywhere near the cremation yard. You are far away on another road, but it starts. Cremation yard is there. Small smell is coming. And this is a place in tantric system they propose you to meditate. You go alone to the cremation yard, sit there and meditate. Then you will understand where you stay. To stabilize yourself, this is an important place to sit and meditate. Because this is the most beautiful place where you can sit, because there is no mind. The mind is gone already, it is only dead bodies coming, which has no value, which has nothing, which is not going to do anything. The dead body is not going to get up and walk and kill you, and the mind is already gone. All things are starting from the mind, and the mind is not there in the dead body. So that's why they propose the cremation yard as a place for meditation, because it is empty. But those who have mind and fear, they create all these things in their mind, and then you cannot even go near any cremation yard at the night. But the time which is proposed for meditation is middle of the night. Then you understand. Then you understand where you stay. And it's part of the game of learning. You go there and you sit. If you go with two people, I have done with two people, and yeah, really terrible it is. And you go there, you try to meditate, you have another Swami with you, so Swami is awake, so you can meditate, because there is a companion here, is a Swami, so you sit and meditate, and you start to meditate. After some time the Swami stretch his towel and he sleeps there. Finished. Then you cannot meditate at all, because the Swami is sleeping. If he is awake, you can meditate. He is sleeping now. And unfortunately or fortunately, if a coconut falls from the nearby Chodala, then you will die immediately of heart attack. Yes. And this is the fear. This is the fear of, we are storing everything in our mind. And we have to slowly take them up and then look at them and throw them out. And this is the major work which we do. If we don't do it, it is there. It will show up one day. Then we can postpone it till the last. Better do it when we are healthy, and when we have some energy, and when you are worn out totally and you have no energy even to get up from the bed. Yeah. At that time all the fears are coming, and you are sitting like this. I have an experience like this. This will be boosted like anything, like maybe 1,000,000 times the sound of the dropping of the seed will be boosted. And a small sound will not be a small sound, it will be such a big bomb which is falling on you. I was a Swami and me, a front Swami, not my master. Front Swami, one night he came and he woke me up and now okay, we go for meditating. We are in Tirumala temple. At that time there was no wall around. It was open, anybody can go at any time. And we went there and on the top of this hill we meditated in the middle of the night. So after some time he said, okay, we go, it's not comfortable now. Okay, we go. We walked down and we came to Edapadanji, there is a car and a temple there. And we came there to meditate, and then this man didn't allow us to meditate there because it's a private temple and you cannot come at the middle of the night and I cannot let you do this. Okay. So my friend Swami quarreled with him. It's a temple. And so he didn't agree. The watcher didn't agree to get inside, and so we came. And it was so many years ago, it is maybe more than 40 years ago. You might have seen the Ekshema altar 40 years ago. This is not a temple like this. It's a big banyan tree with some small color and then Trident and all those things. And lot of stories there, and some what you call bullock cart came at the night. In my childhood I heard a lot of stories. Came there and the man felt like peeing somewhere and he went there on the side of the temple. No temple there, only the big banyan tree. Came there and he started peeing and he could not stop peeing, and then he understood that he was peeing blood and he died. And when we came near and he told the God, he said that we go to altar and we meditate. Okay. Do you want to meditate in altar? Okay, we go there and do it. He's a strong man. He's very strong. He's not scared at all. But he sleeps, that's the problem. You are with your pacha jivanodudi, you are there awake. And he is sleeping. And so we went there and there was only a small sheet like that on the back side. Not the side which you see the temple, on the back side. There is a small sheet like that, that was all which is there. All these kinds of innumerable stories I heard in childhood, heard about the place in the childhood, and he wanted to meditate there. Okay, we meditated. So we sat, both of them, we sat in Padmasana and we started to meditate. And after some time, I heard the sound, I understood that he's going to sleep. Actually, it is terrible, you know. Then you are alone. You feel, suddenly you start to feel that you are absolutely alone now. And he fell flat and he was sleeping. And so I started to feel that it's getting into somewhere because... But I really tried to meditate, and I was really putting myself together. I was sweating and palpitating and my head was burning. But I really wanted to fix it, and then I was sitting. Suddenly a sound, boom, on this metal. It was exactly Yakshi appeared. And little time you don't see anything. It's only darkness. You become so dark, like death is coming. Completely dark, and there is some heat waves moving around me. And then I understood that I will be killed now. But I looked at him and he was sleeping. Then anyway, I tried to wake him up. And then he, oh, what's happening? So there is a sound. I hear so many sounds. For him, so many sounds. For me, I was going to be killed now. So, actually, it was something which was a small thing. When you are in meditation, these small things are not small, because big. There are small fruits of this banyan tree or something else. Some vowel might have taken and dropped into this. It was not like sheer. And so, this kind of fears which we are holding inside will pop up in meditation, in dream, in sleep, everywhere. So it needs to be mastered. And by observation, you can master it. without observation you will not. Without exposing yourself, you feel that I have all kinds of strength, and until you get into the point. And so, if it is not handled now, it will be there for later day. And suppose in an old age it comes back, and you cannot run away. You are on the bed, and you are sitting there, and you are not understanding anything. You are looking with blank eyes everybody. And then somebody is coming. The dragon which was there in the pond is now coming. You cannot run away, you cannot express, your face is paralyzed as you are old, you cannot express anything, you are blank, but the dragon is there. What will you do? And nobody understands because you are very blank. You are very, very quiet. And suddenly, maybe something, the dragon is going to attack you. He is going to attack you. In one of the hands, I can say, let them fix it. In one of the hands, the deity is keeping fire, the sacred fire. And this is the life warmth that needs to be protected all the time. When you are getting into some kind of fighting tendency, what will happen immediately? The temperature of your system increases, you become really hot. But you have to maintain your life by balancing the fire which is happening in your body and in your mind. This is very important. Protect the whole. Then it becomes a holy fire. Otherwise, it will burn the house. So fire is very special in the sense, if you are not careful with the fire, it will burn you completely. When you are in that stressed state, to protect your concept, beliefs or ideas, what happens is, you burn yourself to death. You kill yourself. So you have to transform into a balanced heat which allows you to survive your life. And then it becomes holy. She is holding the holy fire. This is the fire chakra holding the fire. Then on one of the other hands, she is holding the arrow which was shot from the second chakra. The arrow of passion, which you have seen in the second chakra. Some of you may not follow it fully because I have been discussing in the last sessions about the symbology of the previous chakras. But unfortunately, we don't have much time to go back and look at it, but maybe in the next session, if I see new faces, I will sum it up again, because I have summed it up yesterday. ചരിഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് സുഖമില്ലായിരിക്കും അല്ല ഈ പടം തന്നെ പടം ഈ സൈഡൊന്ന് പൊക്കിട്ടോ. ഏതായാലും അവർ ഡയറ്റിൽ നിന്നൊക്കെ അല്ലേ പറയാം, അവർ ചരിച്ചൊക്കെ ഇരുത്തി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ ചിലപ്പോൾ കോപിച്ചാലാ ഇല്ലേ, ചിലപ്പം കോപം വന്നാൽ നമ്മൾ കരിഞ്ഞു പോയാലോ. ഫയറാണ് സംഭവം. അല്ല ഈ പ്രാക്ടീസേഴ്സ്, the practices of Kundalini Yoga are very, very powerful. That is why I am keeping aside the practices till finishing up the theory. Then once you know all these things, you will not be misled by the influences of the practice. Misled in the sense, you will not be anxious about anything that happens on the way. So, see, she has a fire, and you see there is an arrow that she is holding in one of the hands, arrow. On the left bottom hand you see there is an arrow, which is the arrow shot from the second chakra. And the arrow is put down. In morning ceremonies, somebody dies and the soldiers, they put the bayonet down. Likewise, she is putting down the bayonet now, because it shows the control over passion that was triggered the person in the previous chakra is brought under control in the third chakra. It's not anymore a person established in the third chakra or living in the third chakra is not anymore passionate for sex. That's not at all an issue for him or her. And then that is drawn by the painted like the arrow which is brought down. And then in one of the hands she is keeping the thunderbolt. On the left upper hand you see There is a thunder that is lightning and thunderbolt. This is the nature of the chakra. Thunderbolt on the left upper hand of the deity, feminine deity. On the lower hand there is an arrow which is pointing downward. On the left upper hand, which is the fire, the holy fire. And then the fourth hand, blessing. So now let us see into the details. The thunderbolt is lightning, electrifying. This is the nature of the third chakra. And so there is a lot of caution a person has to take while he does the practices. Because there can happen some growth of strong energy in the body. All psychic things. For example, if you have done something seemingly bad for the society and you keep it as on hold without letting anybody know of it. Everybody does it. And the fear is it will be brought to the limelight. Always you are standing on this fear. And so when this fear is there, you are not relaxed at all. Deeply you cannot relax because it is there. So one has to take this out. The conflict which has happened due to some of your motivations from within needs to be brought under control or understood properly. You can bring anything under control by proper understanding of it. Without understanding, it is there. It will never go. So we are exploring there into our own mind to understand what are the active things which are there like fire in you, that you alone know about it. Maybe it is there in the secret part of the life of a person. Everybody has something like this, very conflicting. The conflict is, it conflicts with the image that you wanted to protect. It's not conflicting with anybody. It conflicts with you. You wanted to protect an image, and the past is not going with this image. Past is past. We cannot take it in this way. I am not the same, but you say that I have done so much robberies in my past, now I am a Swami. People won't agree, he was a robber. Anyway, now he has found a new arena for robbing people. Yeah. A looter now, again, pretending a Swami. Yeah. And so this kind of identification is there, and you are really scared of the things of the past. There can be certain strong fight or maybe strong conflicts that happen in the life is there lying there in the recesses of our mind. Sometimes it pops up. As I said in the earlier chakras, when things like that pops up, it will be felt as very real for you. Because it is submerged in the deeper part of your subconscious, and every time when it was popping up or somebody is trying to poke on it, you try to avoid the person or suppress the idea. You avoid it. And as we go on repressing things like that, it becomes stronger and stronger in the mind, but it never finds a chance to come out. Thereby, you are under the grip of this problem. This is how it becomes such a... Our devils are staying inside, no devil is staying outside. These are the devils which are there inside. They fire you, they put you to fire. And sometimes all these fears about our past pops up slowly. That's very important that it should pop up. If it is repressed, it comes, as I said in the previous class, that it goes deeper and deeper into the subconscious mind, and it comes to the deeper part of the subconscious which is considered as the unconscious, and that takes care of the physiological activities. If you push it down and down, it goes there. It alters the functions of the body. And thereby, you become weak, you have no defense, and you get into sickness. So somehow it has to come out. And we have to support it to come out to the conscious mind so that it is known for you, a guy. So if you are not doing what it does in the beginning time of your exploration, that you get some dreams. Maybe somebody is hunting you. You come near a very beautiful pond. In the dream is fantastic. You are in a very holy place, you come to a very beautiful lake, and you are sitting trying to meditate. It's a dream. Meditate at the banks of this great lake, maybe Mansa Sarovar, and suddenly you saw there is a small lizard in the water. And you look at the lizard, it is not anymore a lizard, it is a dragon which is becoming such a big, huge dragon with a lot of teeth, and it is looking at you now. What can you do? The dream becomes a nightmare now. The ingredients are taken from the past, from the memory. It is created by you. In the dream, you are the only person, there is no dragon. In the dream, the dreamer is the only character. The dreamer dreams and creates everything. So that's the loophole through which you can understand, because I created it so I can observe it. Usually when you see the dragon coming and you try to escape and the dragon follows you, you run very fast to escape from, you cannot run, your legs are not moving, your hands are not moving, you are struggling to really calm, and then there is no more way. Have you seen old people? Something is coming, you look and you don't see. But the person who is really creating it, the only one who sees this. And these are coming from within, there is nobody outside. So that is why it is so important for all of us to really slowly go into the deepest area and take out all these things. Take your connection from all these things. And thereby you will be free. Then wherever you are placed, you can. That is, and so this chakra is very special in this way, because all kinds of conflicts that you are keeping will, together with the second chakra's imagination, creates any kind of phantom around you. And that needs to be studied, addressed, understood, and then you get out. So it is considered as a difficult place to cross. All these things which I said are the fantasies the mind is creating. And you are not the mind, and so you are working on that, and then whatever is happening is like a horror movie. When Dracula film comes, you go to see the Dracula film because you know it is scary, but you have a thrill to go and see the Dracula film. And one night when I came back after Repression, second show, 2:30 it finished. Coming from Eastwood, walking all the way. At that time there was actually no auto rickshaw, nothing. After seeing the Repression, there was a scene. The Repression is, the person is transforming immediately into Repression with a big tongue. Very live people is playing this game. What is his name? I have forgotten. Anyway. Kalamile. And big sound and screaming, and then drinking the blood and all these things. Appearing, a normal person transforming into Repression. I've seen, enjoyed it very much, and then I was coming back alone to the side of the cremation. Yeah. It was really tough to reach home. The fear is there. And then, as I came very late, I didn't call my father to open the door. And so, usually when I come very late, I sleep on the veranda, on the floor itself. Because I come very late at the night. So I was laying there. It was so difficult to sleep. And I was looking, and every movement is like a horror. All the trees are moving like some Repressions or something. The whole night I didn't sleep. I was watching what is it, and what's happening, and so. Actually, this is nothing. There is nothing. It's only the old thing which was there is still there. But our fears, we put all the fears on that, project all on that, and we get very scared. So this needs to be looked into. And that is the main work which we do in Manipura Chakra. What's the time? One more point, and then we look at all the three pictures. So, how to get out of this? The concepts, beliefs, and ideas. A psychological way is to study and understand the infructuous nature of the concepts, beliefs and ideas. We have some fallacies around. We have to take away the fallacies, false notions around the concepts, beliefs and ideas. The false notion is, I know this. You understood, experience, so you feel, I know this. This is the problem. If you can take away this I know thing, then you are out of this. But it's very difficult. Everybody knows. When 3 people are conversing something, or 5 people are conversing something, at the beginning 1 person is talking, then 2 people, then 3 people, then 4 people, then 5. All are talking and nobody is listening. After some time discussions goes like this. Everybody talks because everybody knows. There will be no listener. They don't want anybody to listen. Everybody wants to talk. Because you want to simply ventilate your thing, whether you listen it or not. And then you raise the voice. 5 people raising their voice. It becomes such a mess and nobody listens. So everybody knows and everybody wants to communicate what they know. This is a normal trend of the human mind. And there is a pressure of communication all the time. Whatever you have understood, you have a feeling to communicate. And the child, when he was very infant, a small child, he goes and finds out some stone which is very different from the other stones, and he understood that it is something very special. And then he gets into it and he understands that it is such a fantastic thing, and that becomes his discovery. When you discover something, you bring the stone and you rush to your parents and show, see, look, this is something. He may not know it is a stone, but it's something very special. He identified with that and he feels joy of his own discovery, and he comes to the parents and shows this. Why he does it? When you understand anything, there is an innate tendency for human mind to communicate it to somebody. And why we communicate? For getting some kind of appreciation. And you show the stone and the other one says it is shit. Don't take it. Well, that's what parents are doing. You don't touch it, it's shit. Go and wash your hands. And few times the parents do this. Thereby, you lose the possibility of exploring anything. And they say it is a stone. Dirty stone. Don't make your hand dirty. So what happens to us is, we keep ourselves very pure and clean, but deep inside ourselves there is a big pressure of communication and there is nobody to listen it fully. And this is our pressure. That is why when 5 people meet, we go on communicating. And we go on putting out things. Nobody is a listener. Here in this chakra, they are talking about our knowledge, our beliefs, our concepts, our ideas. And you look at the world, the troubles which we face in the world is mainly coming from here. Certain beliefs we keep within ourselves and we want to establish that belief. You keep it for yourself. Why do you want it to establish on somebody? But there is a tendency for human beings to get support from people because we are social beings. And so those who are not supporting your views, what to do? Try to change them. If not possible, invite the apocalypse. Finish the world. All political parties are doing, all religious groups are doing, and all the terrorist groups are doing. Everybody is doing this. Inside our families, husband is doing against the wife, wife is doing against the husband, children are doing against their parents, parents are doing against their children. To try to make them understand something. What you understand is the wrong way of understanding. What I understood is the right way. Listen to me. That is what parents are doing. Listen. I told you not to do this. How can he not do it? He feels to do it. feels he has to get there and do it and understand the trouble. You can say, there is a trouble I experienced in my life. And we never take that time to have a peaceful discussion with our children. As parents have a higher authority, as they are bigger than the small one, there will come a day that the child becomes bigger than you. And at that time, things turn around. Then you say, they'll look at you. They really bite their teeth, and then you understand it's going to be trouble. That's what I speak. If you want to remain in the status of your parentage, you better remain. Right. Okay. Okay. And then deep inside you suffer quite a lot. How is it possible? I sacrificed my whole life. I've never slept when you were small. Not even one day I could sleep. I never ate a stomach. Nowadays this is not the story. Everybody eats quite a lot. I never ate full stomach. Every time I ate, I think about you, wherever I am. And I shared everything with you. I really, when I studied, I have never had even one notebook for me, olden story. But I have given everything for you. And now you are biting your teeth. Impossible. You really feel so sad about the situation. But you don't explore why this reaction. As we are trying to impose our concept on another individual, whether it is son or children or husband or wife, it is another individual, we have to respect that individual, that's all. We have no right over anybody else in this world. There is an extreme thinking, but you should realize that. And so we have respect between each other. That's the basic point from where love starts. If you don't respect, there is no way. If you have that kind of a respect, you create an atmosphere for the love to flow from you and to receive. And this is the point where we miss, based on our stubbornness on our concepts, beliefs and ideas. And we hold on that and we make a very big mess. Our relationship gets strayed with our children. We can have different ideas, but why not we love? You hold certain shit, I hold certain other shit, but we can see always. And this is the development the person gets into when he studies the third chakra. When you explore into the third chakra, you see you are a lump of concepts, beliefs and ideas, of which certain beliefs and ideas have substantiating life support from your side. Whereas certain concepts and beliefs have no support at all from your own life because you never practiced it. We become simple preachers and having no practice about the concept which you proposed. And that needs to be looked. And so somebody, your son or somebody is challenging you, that's the moment you get a great chance to practice this. Now, as you are practicing, you have nothing to do with it. You are practicing for your sake to understand what's happening now. So, they are challenging you, or anybody is challenging you, and then you are observing where the challenge happens. As soon as you feel that there is a challenge, when you look, you can understand that a corresponding concept or a contradicting concept is popping up from within, which cannot agree with the concept which is popped up from outside. You understand? This is very important. Somebody is putting a challenge, an idea, you take it as a challenge because it doesn't go with your concept. So if there is a conflict, there is a corresponding concept. You see the concept. You're not seeing the person who is challenging you, but you are seeing the concept that gets challenged. And you hold on the concept. It's a big inner work. Unless we do this, our life, today we will have a problem with somebody, tomorrow we will have a problem with somebody else. The problem continues through people till we die. If you are looking for freedom, we have to do something about it. So when you are looking at, you see there is a conflict coming, you are immediately seeing not the person but the concept which is challenged. And then you see the concept that is challenged and the new concept which is coming. You stay there. Then you can look at it later, or maybe even at that time, if you are a good practitioner, you can see that the concept which is proposed by the person got challenged inside you. You are tracing the root of it, from where it is coming. If you really go into the root of it, you understand that it is a personalized, very personal experience. I have a personal experience. From the experience, I understood certain things. And he has a completely different set of understanding, personal experience. Based on those experiences, he has understood this. Now, two experiences are two knowledge or concept which based on two different experiences are trying to contradict each other. That is what is happening. So there is a chance for you to understand what is happening inside you. And then when you look, you understand that you didn't understand the person. How can you understand the person? It's an impossibility because you were never exposed yourself to the same experience. There is no same experience in this world. Even when we are traveling on the same bus and the bus goes into a ditch, the experiences are different. We were sitting in the same bus. So never there is any same experience. The experiences are felt by the person based on his past understanding about things. So our past is different, as I was saying before. We are sitting in different places and looking at the world and seeing the world in different perspectives, and which is not the same. So the understanding that comes to you based on your sitting, placement and perception must be different. If it is different, what we are looking is we want to have a harmonious concept for him and for me. Then it is great. That is an impossibility because we never understand what he says fully, and he also never understands what we say. And that is the only possibility in this world. So we are expecting a possibility which is not there. You look, you can see this. We are expecting an impossibility to happen. If you explore this deeply, you will get out of all your conflicts. If you are looking for a substantial cure to our problems, this is the only way. Otherwise, we can avoid the person. He always challenges me, don't see him. Problem is coming from within and we avoided the person, the problem remains within. So, we are looking at in which circumstance we got all these things. And when you are looking deeply inside, you understood that everybody in this world is having their own solitary, unique experience. Some generalized things may be there. That is the reason why when you said something, the other one didn't understand you. When he said, I also have not understood because I don't know what he's saying. And I take it as a challenge to my belief and ideas. And I conflict, I fight. When you look at this, you understand that this is an exploration you can do always, you should do always, so that you can get out of a bigger problem of a life problem. And when you are looking at this, you see that, yeah, whatever I said, nobody understood. What a life it is. One incident in my life and really thrown a great light on my life. Because I married and I got a small child, and she was having tantrum like anything at every 10 minutes, 20 minutes. From the first, now she's so settled. When she comes here, she's so settled. But during those days, when I was going to marry, the first person to whom I said was Dharma. And we were talking about a lot of spiritual things between ourselves, and he asked, Anna, do you really want to marry? So Dharma asked me, do you really want to marry? Yes. So anyway, after that, when I got this child, with the baby, I came back home. I was involved in some kind of shooting in my family house. Film shooting. And this girl was really doing big screaming all the time. And you are involved in an artistic creation. And here on the side, it is a complete mess. You are split up between your creation and your reality of this temple. What to do? And you solace and you do something, and you run down and you do something, and you run back here, and then after some time you felt terrible. You cannot manage this. And I took her in my hand, I pushed her out in the air, and I caught hold of her back just to shook her like anything. But she never stopped. I failed terribly. More than that, what can you do? I was a spiritual master at the time. And then it was gone. Anyway, somehow I managed. I really was looking deeply inside myself. I don't know what to do about this, how to handle this situation. And also you feel a little ashamed and blamed and accused of yourself by you that you have behaved in strange ways, which is not going with your spiritual pursuit. That becomes such a bigger problem. For normal people, you beat, you kill, no problem. But for a spiritual person, it's a bigger affair. Any little thing which you do becomes such a big affair for you. And so, then at the night, I said to my mother, I wanted to ventilate my tension. To whom you can talk about all these things? You can talk to your mother. So when I was there with my mother, I said to her that, you see, and I want her to listen to me, that's all. There is no solution. I don't want any solution, but I know there is no solution. I want to ventilate, that's all what I wanted to do. And so I started it's so tough. I started like this. So tough, so difficult to manage. And so she looked at me and she said, you have been free all these years up till 40th, 50th year of your life. It will change. It will change. Take it. I felt that she never understood me. I want her to listen to me. That's all what I wanted. I want a patient listener so that I can ventilate my stress. I don't want solutions. And I understood she don't understand me. Okay. I took this as I was talking about it, but this hit me so strong, deeply in my heart, that when your mother didn't understand me, who could understand you? And then when I came back and I was sitting in meditation, the whole story revealed before me. That, oh, I'm alone. I'm alone, absolutely alone. Your father never understood you. Your mother never understood you. Your brothers and sisters never understood you. Your children never understood you. And nobody understood. Your masters never understood. And when one of my masters came to the place where I was staying with this small kid before, this incident happened before, and my daughter was screaming and screaming and screaming, and the master was waiting outside, your master. I hear your family. And he was waiting and waiting up till 11 o'clock at the night. I run to him 2 times and said, I'll come back. I'll put her to sleep and come back. And it never worked, and she never slept. And then by 11 o'clock, the master just walked away. When I heard the gate was opening, I got into panic. My master is walking away. So I came to the gate and I saw him walking. So I stood there and I looked at him and I understood, oh, he never understood me. Then who is going to understand? Nobody understands. In that respect, psychologically, you are absolutely alone in this world. That's a great revelation. I'm absolutely alone. In my meditation, I understood that I am absolutely alone. Nobody ever understood me, and nobody could ever understand me. And followed by that, there came a question in my mind, have I ever understood somebody? And followed by that, a question came in my mind, have I ever understood somebody? Did I understand my father? No. My mother? No. My brothers and sisters? No. My children? No. My masters? No. When I saw this, I understood I am alone. Absolutely alone. Comfortably alone. Because there is no other possibility. I saw this. There is no other possibility in this world. This is the only possibility to be getting misunderstood. And when I saw this, I really started laughing because such a great thing it is. I'm alone, comfortably alone, and nobody ever understood me. I never understood anybody. I'm absolutely, psychologically alone. And then I understood. My daughter was suffering like anything. And though my mother said like this, she was also suffering and concerned about my pitiable condition. And so I understood. Though they never understood me, they are suffering. The one who is fighting with me is suffering more than me. So he is suffering, I am suffering. He is fighting with me. As he is fighting with me, he is suffering more than me. When I came to this point, I have really seen, when a person is really suffering, what can I do for him? You understand? What can I do for the suffering one? He is really angry at me, he is anybody. He can be very angry at me, challenging me, and really very bad and nasty with me, but he is suffering more than me. What can I do for him? And that is like, if you use the scientific term, like a quantum jump. You leap from where you are, from your head to your heart. You move out of your head, and then you get into the feeling, seeing the suffering of the nearby one who is challenging you constantly, trying to kill you. This is the point of transformation. You see this, and so, what can I do? You are not going to ask anything, but that's what you feel. This kind of feeling bubbles from within intensely, and that is called compassion. When that compassion comes by recognizing your aloneness, you feel everybody is alone in this world. So we are the same. And what we do is, we are sitting in a boat, the boat is going to sink. Before the boat sinks, I should kill him and push him into the water, and establish my supremacy over the other one. This is a normal plan. And this normal plan has no value in a spiritual life. Instead, you really feel some kind of pain in the suffering of the rest of existence. When you get there, you are balanced. This is the leap from the head to the heart, from Manipura chakra to Anahata chakra. The aspects of Anahata chakra are love and compassion. then you are stable and stabilized. You can be very much misunderstood. Doesn't matter. That's the only possibility. What we are doing in this life is we want others to understand. We want others to understand continuously. And our complaint is that in olden times, women are at home and men go for hunting or somewhere else, and women converse with the nearby neighbor about the husband. Because they have to share their pain. With the husband it never works. So the nearby lady who is in the same boat, so you converse all these things through the walls. That was very much like that in villages, but maybe not like, nobody has time for all this kind of dialogues. So when you get there, in the opening of your heart, by recognizing your aloneness, your heart could be open. Heart means your tender emotions could be open only by exploring and finding out your solitariness. You are alone. Why? Because you are so unique. There is nobody else in this world is like you. You are, in that respect, misunderstood, alone, and that is your uniqueness. You are the only one single piece in the creation. That's the significance of you. Now, you want to establish your importance with respect to somebody in your life, and now you have understood that that is the wrong way which I was studying. The possibility is recognizing my solitariness. And then you comfortably recognize this, and you understand the basic truth that I am alone, comfortably alone, because I am so unique. I am the special one created by the creation. So I have big significance. My importance is not with respect to anybody in this world. Anybody can challenge me, anybody can put me into ditch, doesn't matter, I am unique. You stay with your uniqueness, you recognize your uniqueness, you are important for yourself, you are not showing anything to the world as you are important or something, but you recognize this. When you get there, you simply feel compassion for the rest of the suffering people. You have crossed. You have lost, and then alongside with that you understand the applicability of your concept. You are trying to hold on to the concept and then fight always with everybody. Our attempt in this life is to modify the other one. We constantly try to modify the near and dear people because they are suffering. If they follow me, they will understand. So you do a favor for them. Please understand this and change. That is what we want them, for their good. And they don't understand, you suffer. You do a good thing and you suffer. That doesn't go with the logic. You do good thing, you get good thing. Now you do a great thing and you suffer quite a lot because you are isolated. So it doesn't go well. So we have to understand why it is, and then you understand that your importance is your importance. You are the only single piece in the creation, and that is the uniqueness of you. The God or the intelligence have very special care for you to create your eyebrows. And he has an incredible feeling to create the specific nose for you, which you felt is not so good, so you have to do a plastic surgery and change it. So this is how it is. Always we are really not staying in ourselves. And to recognize our unitariness, our solitariness, our unique nature. And unless we understand the unique nature and relax on that unique nature, we will not feel compassion. We constantly fight for small things to establish concepts. So when you look at the concept, you see that the concept has no 100% accuracy or applicability. Your concept may not even work in a later date in your own life. You have created a concept, and it may not work in your own life on a later date. And this is the concept we want to impose on others, thereby get rejected. So what is the applicability? If you look into that, you can understand the concepts are working on the basis of probabilities. It may work, it may not work. But our idea is that it works 100%. So other has to change, other one has to change accordingly, so that I can love you. Or you constantly change the other, try to modify the other one. If you try to modify somebody and they don't like the modification which you propose, what will happen? There will come big rift between these two people. Two people living in a small house trying to modify each other all the time. Or 5 people in a family, they are the grandfather, the grandmother, husband, wife and one child. They are constantly trying to modify each other. And this is a false notion. That is what I started the sentence with, that we are under a fallacy, a false notion that our concepts, beliefs and ideas are the right one. Thereby we try constantly to change the other one, and thereby getting rejected. Acceptance is the aspect of this chakra, not rejection. Acceptance, and when you start to accept the person as he is, by recognizing the uniqueness of the person, maybe challenging you, but he has some uniqueness. When accepting your uniqueness, you accept the uniqueness of the other one. Accepting the aloneness of you, you simply accept the aloneness of the other one, and you feel to do something for that. And when you get that, you are slowly getting out of that by recognizing the applicability of your concept. It is not sure. Your concepts are not 100% working. Then, why are you fighting for that? But we do some trickery in this. When somebody is going to do something, you just put a word that, remember, be careful, otherwise there is some trouble there on the bed. Don't marry this man. So, if after 12 years some friction starts between them, I told you 12 years ago. 12 years ago I said to you, you didn't care. That means your concept works 100%. So people go on putting things like that here and there, and they feel good. See, I said to him 12 years ago that it's not going to work out. And it happened after 12 years. See, 12 years anybody live together, they feel a lot of trouble between them. It's not a small period of time. And so this is how we play with the concepts. When you look into Manipura chakra, you understand every concept, every ideas that you have, every belief that you hold on. And you recognize that it is how it is for me. It may work, it may not work. Even if I want to suggest, I can suggest that this is my experience. I experienced this. So look at it in your own ways. It may work, it may not work. So we have no concept or conflict with anybody. Even between religions, there is no need for any conflict. If you recognize this. So you believe in this, okay, you believe in this. I have a completely different idea. Based on my experience, it's like that. But there is no point in conflicting. Maybe you are right. Maybe you are right. So when you get into that kind of a resolution, certainly your life becomes balanced and you get into the anahata.